morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Okay, so we're going to get started with our campus mentor training, and the purpose of this training is to just establish the roles and responsibilities of me as the mentor and you, or me as the mentee and you as the mentor. Okay, so we're going to the purpose, campus mentor training, field supervisor, mentor introductions, mentor training, and this is our first observation. Mentor training agenda, welcome and introduction, the purpose of mentor training, the TA compliance requirements for principal, mentor role and responsibility, field supervisor and intern responsibilities, practicum requirements, expectations, and forms, and the videotaped observation, which we're conducting right now. So the principal practicum goals, the complete principal practicum course, expectations and TA requirements, pass the principal Texas exam, which I did in August, successful completion of the 160 hours of core leadership activities, successful completion of 3 videotaped observations for a total of 135 minutes, and effective communication, coaching, and student mentoring. Here are the TA requirements. Observation for practicum and educator preparation program must provide a minimum of 3 observations during the term of the practicum. Those are, for example, like this is one we've discussed before, and then the next 2 will be either training sessions or observations of me working with the students, which we can discuss later. For candidates seeking professional certification as a superintendent, principal, school counselor, school librarian, or an educational diagnostician, each educator preparation program shall provide a practicum as defined in section 228.2 of this title for a minimum of 160 clock hours. TA requirements, 3 videotaped observations and agendas, 3 observations for a minimum total of 135 minutes, 160 hours of field activities, coaching, communication, and mentoring, course requirements, and TA forms. Practicum participants and roles. Field supervisor, observe, coaching, supervise, and classes. The campus mentor, guide, support, and dialogue and mentor, and the practicum student observation, the logs, and our classes. Mentor selection, identify an experienced role model who will guide the practicum student's professional development through coaching and mentoring. Such mentor will assist in student in improving and providing leadership opportunities for growth. Also, mentor will assist intern in improving skills and be better prepared for the role of a campus leader. And here are the roles of the mentor. So provide on-the-job development through mentoring, create a linkage between theory and practice, involve student in school improvement project, provide quality leadership opportunities for growth, mentoring and log hours, support student for successful observations, assure student end of course assessment. These are the benefits for the mentor. Reflection on own skills and practices. Have an additional quasi-administrator teacher to support campus improvement. Recognition as a successful administrator. Collaboration and assistance on campus improvement project and strategies. Responsibilities, assist with planning and scheduling activities, be available for meetings, discussions, clarifications, questions, and problem solving with intern, 15 to 20 minute debriefing sessions daily, weekly, reflecting with the intern on the days of activities, share past experiences and expertise related to the roles and responsibilities of the principal leader, model effective practices, procedures, strategies, and provide constructive feedback to the intern. Offer opportunities for intern to attend principal meetings and staff development related to leadership skills. Allow the intern to be meaningfully involved in and contribute to chosen aspects of the school and supervise that involvement. Campus committees, CIP, projects, etc. Allow the intern to be meaningfully involved in and contribute to aspects of the campus and supervise that involvement. Here are our TEA requirements and field supervisor role. Manage all online classes. Explain course expectations within 2 weeks. Collect all required forms. Provide mentor training. Conduct observation 1 by the end of week 2. Schedule and complete 3 observations for a minimum of a total of 135 minutes for all students. Log development process. Guide, collect, analyze, provide feedback, grade all logs. Communicate and coach student, assure mentor assessment of students completed, monitor student program, and provide coaching, complete all TEA required forums, guide student to meet all certification requirements. Practicum student responsibilities, attend to all online classes, complete all TEA forums and class assignments, completion of 160 log hours of field activities, completion of 3 videotaped observations for a minimum of 135 minutes, develop observation agendas, engage in 3 videotaped observations, pre-conference and post-conference processes, hold needed conferences with mentor on the student assessment instrument and process, communicate and engage in coaching schedules with mentor and university supervisor, plan, organize, and complete all courses, course expectations, and certifications processes. So here are some examples of some activities that we can work on for the 160 hours. So policy reviews, the board grading policy, the FERPA policy, the LPAC policy, the FFA policy that you gave to me yesterday. I went online and looked at it last night, so that got some information on that for you. We have dialogues, principal, about areas of academic concern, staffing and scheduling, the discipline, conferences with students, interviews, assistant principal discipline, district language arts coordinator, the document reviews, AIS and PEMS reports, CIP documents, curriculum instruction, curriculum alignment, principals meetings, student committees, the instructional student committees, the 504 RTI, LPAC, which we've discussed also as a possibility, GT, trainings attended, LPAC training, DMAC training, academic vocabulary, the key meetings attended, SBDM, LPAC, and I think that's supposed to be SILT. Yes, the Campus Instructional Leadership Team. Shadowing administrator during walkthroughs, presentations on LPAC, academic vocabulary and thinking maps, CIP, assistant updating document, updating the document as it's a working document throughout the year, offer assistance with monitoring component. Admin tasks assigned, communicate with parents on DL programs, and special projects and supervision duties. Here are the examples of the required observations. So one would be the one we're conducting right now, which will submit an agenda. We had a pre-conference yesterday. We had the leading mentor in the planning, and then we'll have a post-conference. Another one would be observation 2. We would submit the agenda, pre-conference, maybe a staff development activity. We talked maybe about the Fontes and Pinnell training, and then we would post-conference with that. And observation 3 would be the same pattern, submit the agenda in pre-conference, and then I think that whatever our special project is going to be, whatever we decide we want to go after or from there in the program. Here's the planning activity. We overview the practicum, the expectations and interim responsibilities, plan the practicum field activities, we log the hours, observation, plan and schedule, identify school improvement project and progress reviews improvement project. This would be for staff development. It could be a book study on effective research-based strategies, the Marzanos is a good one for vocabulary development. Conduct training on part of the TOT, the thinking maps. Grade level meetings to provide feedback, suggestions on classroom observations. Provide monthly parent trainings to report on DL progress and address any concerns, questions. So that would be the second one. And then the special project, grade level meetings to analyze area of need, reading, and strategies for improvement. So maybe when we get into the Fontenelle data after we've done that beginning of the year, we can take the data and then work with the teachers on identifying how we would use that using the literacy continuum and the guided reading book. Grade level meetings to provide teachers with monitoring data based on their students, reading logs, and follow up on recommendations. So again, special project ideas, trainings, new teachers, which we have the new LLI that we can work with. The develop, revise course management plan, committee work, attendance, curriculum, reading, new initiatives, and improve parental involvement program. Thanks. And closure, any final thoughts before we get into like what we're going to do as far as projects? I really hope
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I know yesterday at our pre-conference, we talked about maybe some areas where you could help.
Okay.
We didn't talk about the shadowing, but that's I think that's essential. When you can fit it into your schedule, maybe just go into classrooms with me. With me being the evaluator, but you're observing, but we can still share notes. What we saw. Okay. Working with the LLI teacher, I think that's going to be probably one of the more important ones at the beginning, right?
Okay.
To get her in tune to Fontenelle and how she needs to assess students and how to use the guided the level readers.
Okay.
All right. So you can set up a schedule with her.
Okay.
And begin that training because we'd like to get her started with students next week.
Okay.
Right? Yes. So you can help us identify the students that need intervention, and remember that they have to be at risk. Right? So look at our at-risk list
and we would be working. Those students would be the fourth graders, fourth and fifth.
Actually, fifth graders.
Fifth graders.
Yes. So you would look at data from fourth grade.
Okay.
Because that's the only data we have right now. Just what they have in fourth grade. But it's our current fifth grade students.
Okay. So how they did on the reading last year.
Yes. Exactly.
We can get those files from her to see which students are the ones that need. Okay.
Yes. And keep in mind that they do have to be at risk.
Okay.
In order for her to work with them.
Okay.
All right. DMAC. There's some trainings coming up for DMAC that I think would be beneficial.
Yes.
I have the
Okay.
DMAC, all right.
Okay.
That's it. And their after-school sessions. Yes, so let me see. That's a different one.
Okay. The after-school session.
Yes. So I think that would be beneficial for you so that you can. That's one thing that since we use DMAC to score all our assessments.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes.
It's helpful to learn how to do that.
Yes. Okay.
CLI Engage. I'm not sure that you're familiar with that. That's our pre-K assessment tool. So our pre-kinder students are the ones that are assessed using CLI Engage. So I know there's Mr. Lina, who's a
Yes, Mr. I worked with him
yes,
with the LLI.
right, yes, he's has now undertaken pre-K
Okay.
also. So he's going to come over to train our new pre-K teacher.
Okay.
So that might be a good time for you to sit with him
Okay.
and do as he trains her to use Circle Engage or CLI Engage.
Can I email him and let him
Yes.
know, like, when he's
Yes.
here on campus to give me a heads up so I can come
Exactly.
and meet with him? Okay.
Exactly. Right. And then you can mentor that new teacher in pre-K
Okay.
and help her with the CLI Engage.
Great.
The board policy that I gave last time, you said you were ready.
Yes.
And there'll be others, you know.
Yes.
As we progress, you know, there'll be some other board policies.
Okay.
I want you to look at.
Okay. As far as
Yes.
looking into it, do you want me to write you a summary of it and then bring it to you so you can
Yes, a short summary. The one that I assigned to you last night.
FFA local?
Yes,
Yes.
right.
The wellness one.
Yes, I want to see what
The
it says
specifics.
exactly.
Okay.
What I, as a principal, am
Okay.
responsible for. I know that it makes reference, I'm pretty sure, to the C-Shack,
Yes.
the district and the campus. But I want to see if there's policy regarding recess, regarding lunch.
Okay.
That's what I'm more interested in.
Okay.
To see
I'll
what
make note of that.
exactly that policy stipulates.
As far as recess.
Yes.
PE.
Right.
And just briefly, as I read through, yesterday has a lot to do with like the food, what they're eating.
Okay.
So-
Well, and that's I'm pretty over. So that's
Okay.
it's a compliance issue more than anything.
Okay, so I'll look at that and I'll
Okay.
get that specifics for you.
All right. Good.
Okay.
I just thought there was something else that came to mind. Of course, and you know, book study, the continuum.
Okay, the letters.
The literacy continuum. Yes, I know there's a first grade teacher, Jennifer Wright,
Mhm.
who did a lot of reading over the summer. Maybe you could. Book clubs are kind of hard sometimes.
Yes.
To get people or teachers to find a time. But even just picking the important sections of that literacy continuum
Okay.
and even sharing it with your grade level,
Okay.
because you're the ones that you get to BAS and first grade.
Okay.
Meeting with first grade teachers too.
Okay.
Supervision duties, I think you're doing that already in the mornings with safety. At lunchtime, we supervise kids a lot. I mean, that's
Okay.
the one thing that safety is so important.
Yes.
For us. So even, we can look at your schedule to see if there are times when you can go into the cafeteria and watch how we
Okay.
supervise students during that time. There's also a safety action plan. Yes, and you can meet with Jennifer. She's working on that right now to develop a campus safety action plan.
Okay.
LPAC, well, you're going to serve on the LPAC committee.
Okay.
Correct? Okay,
Yes.
Oh, good.
And that I'll meet with Vicky.
Yes.
So she can train me to do the testing of the kinder
Right.
students.
Yes.
And then that will be next week, the LPAC meetings.
Correct.
And I'll just slip in as during my PE and my.
Right. Music.
Well, I don't have music or computer on Friday, but I do have that 45-minute
Okay.
time where
All
I
right.
can go in.
And if not, we can adjust your schedule to where
Okay.
we can move one of your computer.
Okay.
Move it to Friday.
Okay.
Right. And with any LPAC training that occurs, then you can attend some of those trainings.
Okay,
also.
good.
I believe our bilingual director was going to go over to provide a little training, for the girls. So maybe you can sit.
Okay, great.
With that.
Yes.
All right. And the campus plan, yes, I think that would be a good project for you to
Okay.
undertake also. I have a copy of it. I can give you a copy, and then you can. There are times when I need certain page of that campus plan to attach to the substitute request form for Sharon Wells and other trainings that occur. So just looking at that campus plan to make sure that we've included those trainings and programs in our campus plan.
Okay.
All right. So just monitoring it and updating it as needed. I've selected you to sit on a couple of art meetings also.
Okay, yes. I received an email from Ms. Maline to for next week.
Right.
Next week on the 11th.
Yes. So that's another way that you can kind of shadow me. So
okay.
To see how art meetings are conducted and what the role of the principal is when it comes to making decisions.
Okay, great. Yes.
So and I'll call you in when our discipline is. Our kids are so well behaved. They are, but every now and then I just need to talk to students about their behavior in the classroom.
Okay.
So we can sit in.
Perfect.
Okay. So what else did you have?
I think we touched on everything that we had pretty much that we discussed in our pre-conference yesterday. A lot of really good ideas that working with the LPAC folders and helping Ms. Altania and Jennifer or Ms. Lopez work on those. They said that there's a lot of updating that needs to be done, so they're going to help me or teach me how to do that with them. The lead committee member is providing the copies for Sharon Wells for my grade level, doing my grade level meetings, just kind of facilitating that and working with Mr. Vleck, who's going to help me just kind of model how to conduct the meetings and make sure that we're working together as a team. The data analysis was another thing I had down here, just looking at data, which we touched base with up here with our 5th grade students, identifying those students, working with the LLI teacher, the RTI process. We had a meeting last week on the RTI, so just getting. I was outside of the classroom last year when the whole RTI process changed, and so now coming back to the classroom, I'm going to really need to get in touch with the DMAC and working on that RTI process, and I'll get with Mrs. Foley and Mr. Bartlett to help me with that. I think for the most part, we touched base on everything we've discussed. Just would be the next 2 observations.
Okay.
So I was thinking, I know Victoria and I talked about presenting the data for K through 2nd, Fontes and Pinell. She shared that with me, and she shared the where the students were at the end of the year. We start testing next week.
Right.
For second and first grade. I think kinder's a little bit later
in October.
So she had mentioned that we'd be meeting with them soon to go over that and maybe give them an update, a refresher on the Fontes and Pinell.
Yes, in fact, we have a grade level meeting scheduled for this Thursday.
Okay.
And that was the time that I would like y'all to share your Fontes Pinell data.
Okay.
With kinder and first meet together, and then 2nd and 3rd, of course, 3rd grade, we'll meet with them. No, you know what? We'll include 3rd grade in that group because they have data from the 2nd grade end of the year.
Okay.
So if you could get that data together, that would be a great observation.
Okay, so I can do that on Thursday.
On Thursday, yes.
So for our next observation, let me just write that over here. Observation 2.
September 6th.
September 6th. And it would be from 9:45.
Yes.
Okay, right before. And then in between that, I'll get with Ms. Fonseca also to go over the training.
Yes.
The training of so she can do the BAS on her iPad.
Right.
And then the third one, I think, what do you suggest as far as the third observation? Do we want to leave this at this and then come back and touch base later, or is there something in mind that you'd like for me to start working on so I can?
Well, if we could maybe stay on the same realm of reading.
Okay.
So even if it's just meeting with your grade level or first and second.
Okay.
You're doing a first and second, and it might need to be an after-school session, or we can make, if we can, swing it to plan something during the day, we could do that.
Okay.
And picking those important pieces of literacy continuum.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So literacy continuum, and then
Yes.
we'll just leave the date to be determined.
Yes, correct.
Until after the testing is
Yes.
done. So we have a 2-week window.
Right.
Okay. So literacy continuum. Okay. That sounds great. And then I will type these up,
Okay.
make them pretty, and then I will come back for signatures.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Now, going back to the grade level meetings that you're sort of co-chairing with Mr. Black,
Okay.
you mentioned that you would develop agendas.
Okay.
For
Yes.
those meetings and maybe sign-in sheets so that.
Yes, we'll work on that. I'll see. Last week we didn't have any.
Mhm.
We met on Wednesday and discussed content for the next week, and then Thursday we continued that process.
Yes.
And we even met on Friday all together to continue. But I'll make sure to develop some agendas and have some sign-in sheets for that.
Okay.
Maybe take some minutes as to what's being discussed
Perfect.
and how are the meetings going.
Perfect.
Okay.
Sounds
Is there something particular you want to see during the grade level meetings?
No, if I'm on campus, I'll
Pop
miss
in.
some of those meetings, yes. But I want to see what y'all are planning in regards to curriculum.
Okay, perfect. And so we'll just keep that.
Right. Yes, because that's the purpose of those meetings on Wednesday, especially Wednesday and Thursday to plan curriculum. It's not to plan field trips or
Okay.
but that's done at a different time.
Okay.
So content areas.
Sounds good. I'll get that ready for tomorrow. I'm uploading we're keeping them all on Google Classroom,
Okay.
and so we're working on them all together, and I'm uploading the templates the night before, and so that way we can kind of have a heads up and going into our meetings the next day.
Good.
We talked about how it would be beneficial to have some things already kind of in place, like what we're going to bring to the table, for the following week, so that we can have that time to discuss, what to look forward to for the next week.
Now, are you delegating to teachers within the grade level?
We're all working on different subjects.
Okay,
so two teachers, because writing was one of the core content areas that we want to focus on this year. So 2 teachers are working on writing and 2 are working on reading. Mr. Black and I are working on the math and the science together. And then another teacher is working on the social studies. So we kind of split it up to where the manpower is focusing on those, especially those core content areas. We're lucky that we have 7 because sometimes, working in the small grade levels, you only have 3, and so it's a lot more on one person. So we're lucky that there's so many of us. We can spread the wealth.
Great. And since there are 7 of you, maybe you could look into the emotional intelligence.
Okay.
And assign it to someone so you can incorporate that into your plans also.
So I'm going to look that for grade levels.
And Ms. Baldy and Mr. Thaddy are good sources of information, good resources that you need to tap into their knowledge.
Okay. So we can add that maybe into the writing and even into the social studies. Even into the social studies. A lot of the expression, also like learning how to express how they're feeling is really important. So that's good. That's good to keep in mind. So yes, I'll see what we can figure out as far as who can work on that in the grade level. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And I'll bring these back typed.
Okay. Sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.